Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy DB6, and today I'm very excited because I'll be doing a reaction to not only the Human Torch, but also the Thing character reveal and gameplay in Marvel Rivals. Now, the Fantastic Four dropped at the beginning of Season 1. We have this mid-season update. I'll also be doing some patch notes, overviews, just so you guys can know what's coming with the balancing of heroes as well. So we've been waiting for Human Torch and the Thing for the entirety of the first half of Season 1. We didn't know when they were coming. They dropped, I think, like 2 weeks ago that they were officially dropping them at the midway point of Season 1. And it's finally here. Friday will be the day that they release this stuff to everybody. There are people with early access. But we're going to take a look at everything, see what it looks like. I already seen some things because I couldn't help myself. But it's absolutely amazing. All right, so first up, we have the Human Torch. Now, he's the most looked after character. Everyone is most hype about him. So let's see what we get for the initial reveal. The skin itself looks fire.
House, yo. You don't look so hot.
Okay, a lot of damage done there to Iron Man.
Boom goes the meteor.
Those are the diving ability looks crazy. Okay, this right here is going to be a problem. So all the people, all the healers that sit on the edge of the maps, all the Spider-Mans that are camping at the edge of the maps trying to pull people off, this is going to be a counter to that, where you throw down your little fire mine or fire field, whatever you'd like to call it, and then dive into it, pushing knockback. So even Loki's, you're going to be able to knock his clones out of his healing spots, or himself out of the healing spots, and take him down pretty much with ease, because it seems like, from what we see here, Human Torch is a very powerful character.
No applause?
The voice lines are very accurate to his personality in the movie, so I love that.
Dodge this!
This is going to be a massive problem. This is going to be a massive problem for points. Everybody is going to have a Human Torch. He will get banned in ranked because of this specific thing. Every time you have a point, you want to have somebody that does splash damage. That's why Penny's so strong in defense is on point. This right here is going to wall off points for tick damage, regardless of whether it's a lot or a little bit. A lot of people who run Invisible Woman, as myself, know when you throw that orb in, it does that small tick damage. When you throw it into a lot of people, you're getting a lot of damage. It's also messing people up. This right here is going to throw people off because they're going to be getting damaged while in a pack of other people on point. It's going to help you be an assist to your teammates. It's not going to self-clear a point, but it's going to be able to give you the option for your teammates to go in there, tanks to dive in, take a bunch of damage, and or deal a bunch of damage while he walls it off and gets them off their guard. And I mean, he's obviously going to snipe like that as well.
Supernova!
Okay, so here's his ultimate. Throwing down fire tornadoes. And then you see Storm going in there. It amplifies her ult. I didn't know how this was necessarily going to work when I first heard about it. It's still broken. They might as well just activate at the same time. But with Human Torch, you can throw I think up to 8, but only 4 will be on the map. So as Storm goes through the team, you can amplify her ult by throwing the tornadoes at it. So no matter where she pops, as long as they both have it, that she's going to be a fire tornado, which, as you can see, is going to do massive damage. Like right here, you can see it took down almost half of Iron Man's health bar with 1 hit. So crazy.
Flame on!
The skin itself looks absolutely fire, I must say. W skin. I love the way that he looks in the game. A little bit of a Chad, though, with the jawline here. But, you know, we'll let it slide. Everybody's got to be chiseled in this game. Not many people have been talking about this one. I'm very excited for the Thing. And I'll tell you why when we get into this.
Benjamin J. Grimm, reporting for duty.
Almost a spot on to the first movie with the voice actor. I don't know who they got, but the guy has the rasp, everything perfect. This animation, oh my god, it's so clean. It's so clean. I love the smash.
Too easy.
All right, so right there you get your standard. He's gonna be your standard like Hulk-esque build where you're gonna be in your face, punching, melee. But The thing that's going to separate the Thing and make him one of the more valuable tanks, well, a melee tank that is because he's going to have that ranged punch. He doesn't have to be right on top of Hawkeye to get him. Now, this is crucial because if you play Hulk, you know you're relying on the clap and that the stun that he has to really do that little bit of like get into their face damage. And what I mean by that is like you're not always going to jump right on top of them, or they're going to back up and you're just going to be slightly out of range. Well, with Thing, you have that small ranged attack that's going to keep you engaged in the fight, even if they're fast with backing up. That's huge.
Coming through.
I love this charge,
Let's rumble.
which does a small stun, I believe. And the ranged hit does multiple damage. So it's not just one person. You don't have to be accurate with it. You can just punch in the air around you, and anybody within range of that will get hit by it.
I'll cover you.
Now, we will be watching gameplay on these two. This right here, I saw Tim the Tatman use this ability, this shield jump. His movement is so busted in the best way because of this jump. You can jump in the air. You can jump over Groot's walls. If they are in range of that E ability or whatever that is for controllers, that jump is going to save you time and time and time again. I'm hoping we see that in the gameplay.
Let's go.
He has the fastball ability. That's just kind of cool. But it's also going to make Wolverine more desirable because, as you saw, he threw Wolverine in from across the map and then jumped in right after him. That's not his standard jump. That's based on that ability.
Ready to throw down.
I also love his base skin. Like, I will see his, the purchase pack skin, the first pack that they drop for his release. We'll see that skin in the gameplay, but I like his base skin. And I think if the mix max color for the shorts is going to be perfect. I'm definitely going to be running them as much as I can when he drops.
It's clobbering time.
See, that ultimate's crazy. But on this map, you see how when he charged in there and did that, it blasted him up and then knocked him into the hole. So he took out 2 tanks by knocking him in the hole. He clobber timed the ground, shot everybody up in the air, which also probably pushed the tanks in the hole, and then took out all their DPS. He's going to be broken. If he jumps in the middle, clobber times, and goes right for the supports, and then jumps out, that combo is going to be lethal. I'm really excited for Thing. For Grim, as he's called. But yeah, so those are the 2 intros. Thank you to Marvel Rivals for dropping those. Intros really gets us to showcase the character. So I've never watched his content before, but Ben Gunn here, I just looked up gameplay, Human Torch. He has both early access gameplays. It said no commentary. This is, you're going to see here, Human Torch's new skin. His skin, fire. His bot skin, oh my god, this is so sick. Oh, I love that. I love the little torch thing. That's an ode to the movie. Thankfully, I actually watched the Fantastic Four, so I was able to actually see and like know about little different bits and pieces of lore. So they're gonna be running him with Invisible Woman, so he's got the shield team up.
Remind me of myself back in college.
A superstar in the campus?
No, burning through life too fast.
He's got the same type of like charged ability as Star-Lord, where you can move just slightly faster, which is nice, as he's going to be a flying character. A lot of people compared it to Iron Man, but Iron Man goes straight into like a diving thing that you have to disengage, whereas Star-Lord is more similar to this because you're still keeping that same POV as you would be regularly flying with Human Torch. They just equated to Iron Man because Iron Man stays flying, where Star-Lord isn't always in the air.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, this skin looks crazy in game.
From securing the mission area.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. Hot diggity dog.
So it looks like in game he's not doing nearly as much damage. Oh, it's because he was at range. So his attacks will be ranged. So his attacks will do more damage up close, which is interesting. I think that's a good balance for him, because he is very overpowered right now, at least as what it seems on face value.
Ooh, that felt nice.
That's what happens when you threaten my brother.
Okay, so we're going to see him target some supports. Oh, maybe not. His survivability looks pretty good so far. Hasn't really been attacked, though.
Get him there.
Okay. So he did get 3-shotted by Jeff. Right? 4-shot. So a 4-shot by Jeff.
Man,
Fair
my
enough.
hair's all messed up.
Love the corny lines. He's a corny guy, so you gotta have the corny lines. A wannabe movie star. This map is crazy, by the way.
Render me assistance.
Needed a timeout.
Oh, he just melted. Yeah, that at close damage is definitely going to be a problem. If you have a good tank system going, and he can take a lot of that damage, you're going to be able to do a lot of plays with Human Torch.
The moon haunts you.
Okay, how about we try this again?
Still can't. This skin is so sick. He just looks like a piece of magma that just got shot out of a volcano. It's awesome.
Now I see them.
For mutant kind. Do your worst.
Let's cook some more.
Okay, so we get to see a little bit of that tick damage from the fire fields. Oh wow, okay. Easily countered by Star-Lord's ultimate. That is interesting. There's nothing he can do to counter it, especially if he's in his ult.
Still burning bright, baby.
So you're gonna see a lot of Punishers, a lot of like the ranged shooters that shoot. I mean, your Punisher, your Bucky, your Star-Lord, those people are gonna be used to counter Human Torch.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks. A little help, please.
I want to see him do the wall off. One thing we haven't seen yet. Wow, he almost took all of Jeff's health away with that close range shot. That was crazy.
Yummy.
Yeah, see, he doesn't get out of there as fast as like an Iron Man would, but he does have that little bit of speed boost to get him out of the sticky situations.
Let's cook some more.
Okay, I can see he put a triangle on the point. Yeah, pairing him with like a Doctor Strange where like you have a good shield so you can be up in the front line. I think that's a really good idea. Back.
Let's cook some more.
Oh god.
There goes one.
Oh, he's gonna be a nightmare for supports. As a support main, he's going to be terrible to deal with. You're gonna have to run somebody that just literally protects your supports.
Visible?
Because if they use him as a diving DPS, oh, it's gonna be over.
The wizard is down.
The world.
Yeah, see, okay, his ult isn't that broken. It's if you pair it with Storm, it's going to be a lot better. His ult's a little bit lackluster, to be honest. Seeing it in gameplay, it's not as good as it seemed.
Fantastic!
Similar to the amount of, like, goodness, and I hate to use that word, but lack of a better term, it's not the same type of, like, impact, there we go, as Mr. Fantastic's ult. Like, personally, I hate Mr. Fantastic's ult. Without Storm, Human Torch has a very similar level of impact with his ult. It's not doing an insane amount of damage, but it's doing enough that it's still viable. If you pair it with Storm, it becomes ungodly.
There's still a chance to stop them.
Can't snuff me out!
A little help, please.
Yeah, as you can see, him as a solo against a couple other people, not as busted as you think. I think in top level, with players that really know what they're doing, are going to use him in ways that kind of break your brain, which is why I think he's going to get banned a lot. But I think in low-level lobbies, you'll be able to handle him a little bit easier than you may think just by seeing his initial review. Which is nice, because if he was just immediately broken off rip, nobody would, it'd be stupid. People would just not even care. I think we've seen a good amount of stuff, though, out of this video. So we're going to switch over now to The Thing. And as we can see here, this is The Thing's bought or intro pack, as you'd call it, to the game. So he's going to be wearing a trench coat with dark pants. For me, I like seeing The Rock. I like seeing him built like a rock. I mean, that's his whole thing. I like seeing that. So as cool as the trench coat thing is, I don't see it being as, like, amazing as Human Torches, where it was that much cooler. No hate on it, though. It does look cool. I'm just missing that iconic rock formation skin.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Alright, so here we go. I skipped forward past the intro. We're gonna see him versus another Thing and on offense. So basically what I'm seeing here is you're gonna want to see the combo of punch, punch, and then range punch. At least that's going to be the best thing that I would suggest to do. Because you see that the range punch isn't that far. So you want to combo it to where he's going to, like, pause during his punch. Because his combo, he pauses, if you've noticed. He punch, there's a slight pause, and then he punches again. So if you do punch, and then, well, for here, he's on controller, so it's L2. If you do the ranged attack, then you're stringing it together a little bit faster. It's going to be more of a higher level play. But I'm hoping he uses the jumping ability the way that I saw other people doing it, because that jumping shield ability is going to be crazy. Yeah, like that. Like, you could really get yourself out of a sticky situation and jump 2-point a lot faster than just running them, even with his boosted sprint. I do like the amount of damage that he does. I think it's a good, decent amount, but not too much. Similar to Hulk's punch damage. God, I love that charge. Everything about The Thing just gets me so excited. He's everything that I would have wanted in a tank, but didn't have. Wow, he survived that Moon Boy ult really well. That's interesting. I know they're fighting bots right now, but still. I like it. I like this character a lot. The fact that you can run into point, hit the ground, send some people up in the air, it's going to disorient them, it's going to get them off of their targets, especially if they're doing DPS, like a Bucky or a Punisher. If you run at them and smash the ground, pop them up in the air, the more non-experienced or mid-level player isn't going to be able to fast-track their cursor to where it was or to you. So you'll be able to get them off their game and take a little bit of pressure off of your DPS and healers, which is really nice as a tank.
Rise, my friend!
Clearly you needed some help.
The cooldown doesn't seem to be too long either. 10 seconds seems to be a good amount of time where you're not waiting forever. He's been able to use it pretty substantially. Wow, that ranged punch still does so much damage. That's awesome.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
So with his shield at full form, he's at 900 HP with a base of 700. I feel like that's good. You need somebody really spongy to deal with like good cat players and other thing players now. Okay, he didn't get sent up in the air, which I want to comment on that now. A big thing about Thing is his passive ability is that he's immune to stuns and movement effects. Don't quote me on the stuns thing. I think I might have that wrong. But movement effects, he is immune to. So he can't get knocked back by like a pulse or a magneto charge. And he didn't get bounced up by Thing's ultimate, but he did get stunned. So the stun thing I was wrong about. But the movement effects, I am right. Yeah, like he still got stunned there by Namor's ult. But he won't get pushed back. Also with like a storm, he won't get pushed by a storm ult or dragged by a storm ult. He's just gonna be able to tank that and keep going.
Sorry, soldier.
You kidding? I feel fantastic.
Now let's see how long it takes him to get back to the point. Okay, we can see his charge there. Now, if I were him, which all of his people are dead, right there, you could have strung that together with your jumping shield ability and jump to one of your people that are on the point that are left. So, like, when you have that solo tank, the rest of the team dies, there's one guy, two people there left struggling. If you can get back in time, jump in there, give him a tad bit of shield, and take some of the damage off of him, it's going to change the way that people clear points. It's going to make Thing a very high-value tank because he's going to be able to keep you on the point for so much longer. That being said, you will get focused as a Thing player, so be prepared to be doing a lot of jumping. Because when you have that much value to keep point secured, you're going to get targeted first.
My friends are here.
Yeah, see right there. Like, that's huge. They had a DPS up front. He was able to hop in there and take care of them. Wow, he really took care of Iron Fist. That's going to be interesting. Because Iron Fist is a real big problem for healers that have, like, very low-level movement, like a Adam and most other healers, because they don't really have much. I mean, Luna's a bit quick, but if she's not already moving, she's not going to be able to get away from Iron Fist. Invisible Woman can jump, so she has that little bit of movability there to get away. But I think if your healer calls out that they're getting hit by an Iron Fist or a Black Panther, as a Thing player, you'll be able to jump back, divert, get rid of them, and then jump back into the front line. So if you're not using Thing as a complete back and forth diver, I don't think you're necessarily using him properly. You want to be making sure that you're taking most of the focus or diverting pressure off of your healers, because they'll be able to keep you alive, but they won't be able to handle against the Iron Fist. And Thing looked to handle Iron Fist pretty well. It only took him, I think, 3 shots to kill him. Or maybe 1.5 of that combo I was talking about earlier. Okay, killed that Luna right after the ult. I like that you can use the charge in like a short burst and long burst. Like, there's no duration. It's not a forced mechanic. You don't have to use the full level of the charge. You can do a quick charge right there just to bounce people up and knock them off their game. Yeah, even Thing's survivability, the bot thing, is surviving a very long time. So again, you're going to be a really good sponge. I think like top tier Hulk players are going to love Thing versus Hulk. But I mean, Hulk will still have his players. He still has, Hulk can knock down flying players. He can shield other players like with a bubble that gives him no damage versus just like a small shield that rotates around him. So like there's high level differences between Thing and Hulk. I know I keep comparing the two, but they play very similar where they can be both used as a sponge or a diving tank, and like a backwards and forwards diving tank. At least with Thing, you can jump back, divert off of your healer with a shield, and then take out the DPS, whereas Hulk just needs to kill the DPS as fast as possible. So I would prefer the Thing over Hulk just based on the moveset and abilities. It's more of a playstyle that I think I would get along with. Obviously, I won't know, but I will be streaming this on Friday. So when this drops at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will be live. You can see me playing as Thing if you want to stop by. I think we've seen all we needed to see here out of Thing. Both very good characters. I think the playstyle is gonna be really good for a lot of people. All right, so here we're gonna get into the patch notes. So a lot of balancing changes to different characters are gonna be happening. We'll start with it starts here with Captain America. So they're saying he'll be able to shield himself with Living Leap, Mid Leap. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to change anything for him. They are buffing his projectile speed from 60 meters per second to 80 meters per second, with ricochets going up to 100 and supercharged to 150. So his throwing of the shield is going to be a lot faster, which I think is necessary because I played Captain America a few times. I didn't really see much use out of his shield. I kind of forgot I had it sometimes, but with it being much faster now, I think it'll balance the cooldown a little bit, and people are going to use it a lot more to counter like flying or range DPSs. They're reducing the cost of his ultimate, which I think is good. His ultimate's situational. It's very good for if you're on the point and you need to help your team stay alive, but it's not really like crazy ultimate that's going to break the game if it's easier for him to get. I don't see Captain America mains get ultimate more than once or twice per round, and I feel like that is something you could get a few times and it won't kill the game. It's not going to stop gameplay like a Luna ult would. It just helps support your people that are around you. Doctor Strange is getting a nerf to his overall HP. I don't think that that's necessary. It's going to really suck for Doctor Strange players, but I think high-level Doctor Strange players won't see a difference. It's really going to deter a lot of low-level players from trying out Strange because he's going to die a little bit quicker. Groot's getting a wall buff, so he's going to be able to put his walls a little bit farther out from 15 to 18 meters. Not a bad change. I don't think that's going to really change anything. High-level players might see that as a huge change to amplify their gameplay, but for the basic player to mid-range, I don't think you're going to see much of a difference, as it's a very minimal change to the amount of space you can put it in, but it'll be good for high-level players. Magneto's volley projectile damage is getting a 5-point buff, and the energy consumption is getting, it's getting a nerf. So his shield is going to go away faster and take less damage. Like, it'll go away with less damage being applied to it, and it's going to go away faster on its own. I think that's a good change. I think Magneto mains, if they're good, they use that shield in a way that blocks a lot of different ultimates. And sometimes if they do it right, they block most ultimates because it just tanks all of it. But here it'll make it go away a little bit faster. You could have a DPS hit his shield, tank it down, and then the ultimate won't be completely nullified. Thor's getting the cooldown on his Rune of Awakening completely removed. I think that's amazing. I think if you have the hammers on Thor, based on how much you need to do to, like, how many things he does that takes hammers away, if he shouldn't really have much cooldowns. Some, yes. If he's whipping his hammer 3 times back to back to back, that's annoying. But with this one, needing it to be, I think this is the one where he throws the lightning bolts, if I'm remembering correctly. So with that costing 3 hammers, you need to charge up for that. If you have the 3 hammers, I think you should be able to spam it, because you don't really have 3 hammers back to back. So this is a good change for Thor mains. Small changes to some movement aspects of Venom, and his ult's going to be a little bit cheaper. I don't think it's going to really change much, so I don't hate that. Black Widow is getting a rifle mag increase, but her ultimate is getting nerfed from 80 to 55%. Wow. I've never went against the good Black Widow player, but I feel like this is going to make Black Widow unplayable. I feel like this is going to really hurt the players that use Black Widow because her ultimate's going down a lot. So that's, I mean, it says it'll apply a 15% vulnerability effect to enemies for 4 seconds, but I feel like the slowness, or the slowing effect was like all it had, and now it's getting almost chopped in half, which is crazy. Hawkeye's getting a HP buff, a projectile blast arrow nerf. So the damage is getting nerfed, but the range is getting buffed on the, I think that's the triple arrow that he shoots, the explosion one. The cooldown for his slash is getting reduced. That's fine. And he's going to be able to shoot a super slight bit faster during his bow ability. I don't hate this. I don't necessarily think that any of this is game breaking either. So sure, we'll see how that affects Hawkeye mains. We'll see if the bow speed is significantly better or if it's just slightly better. Hela's getting a slight nerf to her damage fall down, or damage fall off on the Night Sword Thorn. That's the little ball that she throws that nobody ever uses. So this is pointless to do. No, I don't think anybody needed this change. Iron Fist. Iron Fist is getting a shit ton of buffs to his HP, which is terrible for supports. He's gonna have a max of, I think, 900 HP if he fully shields. Like, if he fully heals himself with his self-healing and then pops ultimate at max, he'll have 900, which is fucking ridiculous. But he is getting a nerf to his damage. Slight nerf, but it is getting nerfed. So hopefully it doesn't break him. It has the potential to make him broken, though. Iron Man's getting a unneeded buff with his Gamma Unibeam and regular Unibeam. This is ridiculous. It was already broken, and now it's going to be slightly more damage per second. We did not need this. We did not want this. Please, 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 please take this away as soon as possible. Can already see that there's going to be a lot more Iron Man mains, and I never want to see that. We have Magic here getting a slight nerf to her damage during Demon's Rage and a reduction in her ult cost, so that's a buff. I don't hate this. We'll see how it affects in-game play. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be that crazy. Mr. Fantastic is getting a nerf to his cost of his ultimate, so he's gonna get it less. It's getting a increase in damage, and the fall off is going to be farther out. So he's going to do more direct impact damage. The fall off is going to be longer, but it's going to cost way more to get. So kind of taking things from Mr. Fantastic that he had going for him and throwing him in the trash. I don't really like Mr. Fantastic as a character, so I don't hate this, but I feel like people are going to be upset that actually do like him as a character. Moon Knight is getting his ultimate re-logicked. I don't really know what that means. I always die to it. I didn't know there was a problem with it, but apparently different spots in the Moon Knight ult did different levels of damage. Now it's being balanced, but it's also going to be doing more damage. So it's being spread out properly and buffed, which, for the love of Christ, why? We did not need Moon Knight's ult to be even more broken when it's already overpowered and he's literally just a one-click demon. People just farm his ult, pop it, and then clear a point. Scarlet Witch is getting a buff. She's going to be getting a 100 bonus health when she pops ultimate that will decay at 50 per second. So in 2 seconds, it'll be gone, which I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds to actually like fully, or maybe not that long. Maybe it's like 3 or 4 to fully pop her ult. It's, for me, this is a change that's just going to allow lower level players to actually get her ult off versus the higher level players that actually have to scheme it with a support ult or a shield to protect her while she's ulting. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily like it. I don't think this was needed, but I see why they would do it for like the mid to lower level players. Spider-Man's getting a much needed buff to his cluster time, so he'll be able to get web clusters faster. I think Spider-Man needs a damage increase, to be honest with you, for the mid to low level players. High level players are already demons with Spider-Man, so I could see why they didn't give him one, but don't be surprised if he does get a damage buff in the future. Star-Lord's getting a buff to the amount that he can fly, so he's getting like a gas tank increase in a way. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Storm is getting a nerf to all of her damage aspects, so her damage fall off is going to be, her damage fall off is actually getting a buff. It's going from 70 to 60, so she'll be able to do more damage with the wind blade, but her team abilities for herself are going down. Okay, so her movement's going to go down for herself and her damage is going to go down for herself, but it's still going to impact the team the same way. Okay. Oh, they are reducing the damage to the team on her damage increase. Yeah, that's fair. This is a fair trade. I don't think we needed the damage fall off to be higher on Storm. I don't think she needed to shoot any farther, but you know, it is what it is. We'll take it. Adam Warlock's getting a damage fall off nerf. Or no, he's getting Adam Warlock's getting a damage fall off buff, so he'll be able to do more damage at range. And he's getting more healing from Soul Bond. Okay, that's fair. I feel like Adam's lack of movement really makes him limited in situations where you can use him. Hopefully this makes him a little bit more usable. Yeah. Cloak and Dagger, this is a lot of things just to say that her ultimate's going to cost more and they are fixing the movement so she'll be able to move better during her ult. She won't pause for as long. She won't have that glitchy movement at times during her ultimate. So Cloak and Dagger is just getting a movement balance and a ult increase. Invisible Woman is also getting an ultimate increase. A lot of the healers they're going to cost more to get their ultimates just because of how easily they get it. Invisible Woman's isn't that much. Cloak and Dagger is getting a pretty decent increase. Loki is getting a pretty decent increase to his ultimate cost. They're also increasing the missile charges from 10 to 12, so he'll have more shots in his staff before he has to reload. Luna Snow's getting a massive increase to her ultimate cost. I think it should be even higher. She gets her ultimate cost 3 to 4 times per game. Sometimes it's even more than that, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then we have different team ups being changed. So they're increasing the team up between Snow and Iron Fist, where the Frozen Chi will now last longer and heal more. So if you thought that they used that a lot, get ready to see it even more, because it ain't going anywhere anytime soon. They're increasing the combat abilities of Psylocke and Black Panther when teamed up with Magic. She'll be able to move their portal will move back slightly sooner. So instead of it going back 5 seconds, it'll go back 3. I think this is going to make the movement for the top tier players better. I don't see anybody using this mid to low level, and I don't see this changing anything really about the way that it's played. The Gamma Overdrive is getting a slight nerf, thank God, but it's still going to be broken. 20 damage per second. I mean, I get it. I get what they're trying to do because they buffed Iron Man's Unibeam. But again, they buffed Iron Man's Unibeam. And the only reason you use this team up is to boost Iron Man. So the fact that that's what you're getting out of this nerf, this is pointless. Just don't buff Iron Man. And then you don't even have to do this change. Moon Knight's getting a massive buff to his team up with Cloak and Dagger, where instead of just going invisible, he's now going to be getting healed 25 health per second. That's going to make him even more broken, because not only is his ultimate getting a buff, but now he's going to stay alive a lot longer and just disappear on you. So good luck with that. And then I think the worst change to a team up that they could possibly do, which is going to make it really hard for mid to low level players that run Spider-Man and Penny, the suit explosion, or expulsion as I call it, is going from 4 seconds to 1 second for Spider-Man and 4 seconds to 2 seconds for Penny. That really sucks to see for Penny mains, because Penny mains they use all 4 seconds. The Spider-Man mains, I've seen the top level players only use it for 1 second. So I don't think it'll change much there for them, but for Penny, it's going to make that team up pointless, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, Spider-Man, when he uses that, it's just to get quick tick damage and finish off the kill from your combo. I don't see this making much of a difference there, but for Penny, it's going to make it almost pointless to use. It's going to be like a fail-safe or just to finish off a kill, which maybe that's all it was ever supposed to be. So it really sounded like it was going to kill the team up entirely when I first heard about it, but then I sat there and thought about it for a little bit and realized that it's going to balance it, but it's not going to change that much, because the Spider-Mans who use it, which that's the biggest problem with this, or that was the biggest use case for this team up, they only use it for 1 second anyway, so it'll be all right for them. But yeah, if you stayed this long, I really appreciate you. Be sure to drop a subscribe on this video and follow me on Twitch as well. If you want to see me using Key's characters, these new characters, Human Torch and Thing, in-game, follow me on Twitch. I'll be live every Monday and Saturday doing Rivals, but of course, I'm going to have to showcase the new characters. So I will be live this Friday when they drop. So if you want to run some games, see how they're played, feel free to stop by. But without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.